Okay, so the other day I received a phone call, and it was a robocall. I left a message, and I believe that it's going to be one of those IRS scam phone calls. So I'm going to attempt to call this number back. Again, the call was a few days ago, so I'm betting that this number will probably be shut down, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. So here we go.
IRS, how can I help you?
Oh, yes. Hello. I received a call. I'm returning your message.
Alright. Can I have the number on which you receive a call?
Yes.
Alright, stay on the line.
Okay.
Let me check. Alright. Am I speaking with?
Yes.
And let me confirm your mailing address. Okay. And what you need to do, sir, can you just grab pen and a piece of paper handy? You can note it down some information. My name, my badge ID number, and your case file number.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, my name is Officer Jack Smith with the badge ID number IRM 613. And your case ID number C as in Charlie, P as in Peter, 9768.
Okay. What was your
And
badge
now
number? And again, was it 5RF613?
Yes, sir.
And your name
And
is
now
Jack Smith?
my name, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And now, yeah, and now today we call you, sir. I can see here there are some legal allegations and a lawsuit has been filed under your name by the Internal Revenue Service Department. And are you aware about the situation?
No, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, and I will explain you what is this all about. Now listen to me very carefully, but then I will go ahead and read out the affidavit and the legal charges which have been filed against your name. So I would request you please do not interrupt me while I am reading, because this line are being federally recorded and monitored by the Department of Justice. Anything you say on this line may be used in your favor or against you, and I will give you a fair enough chance to speak, alright?
Okay.
So sir, we have received a legal petition notice against your name for underfiling your taxes for the last 7 years. Now, as per the documents, there was an audit conducted on your taxes filed for the year 2010 to 2016. There was a miscalculation error, and the taxes you filed doesn't match the tax record we have, which means, for example, if you were supposed to pay $2,000 1 year, you were only paying $500. So according to section 26 US Code 7201, as that amount is still outstanding on your name that you have not paid. For that reason, the local authorities will coming at your doorstep, and your driver license, your property, your bank account will be seized, and your social security number along with your passport will be blacklisted. The total outstanding amount it is $7,600, which is included your pending taxes, legal charges, and the late fees. So now, did you done this intentionally or was it by mistake, sir?
No, it wasn't intentional. Of course not.
Alright, and let me inform to you, sir, it is a recorded conversation. Right now you are speaking, and it is a proof of evidence, this call, and I will play this recording call inside the courthouse front of judge. So make sure do not disconnect the line, do not put me on hold, do not put me on mute. And it is a proof of evidence, this call, and I will play this recording call inside the courthouse front of judge. So because an arrest warrant is already been issued on your name, and we are moving forward with the lawsuit, Once you disconnect the call, let me go ahead and activate your arrest warrant. Once I will activate your arrest warrant, next 1 hour, your local county sheriff officer, he will coming at your door and they will take you under the custody after 48 hours. But you are a genuine taxpayer from Internal Revenue Service Department. That is the reason today we call you and inform to you. I want to know, would you like to fight this case inside the courthouse against the IRS? You can hire a criminal attorney and criminal lawyer. And else, if given a chance to you, do you want to resolve this matter outside the courthouse? And will you able to pay the outstanding amount?
I think I'm going to hire an attorney.
Okay, that's all. Not a problem. What I will gonna do, I will activate your arrest warrant and I will sending the authority.
Okay, I'll be here waiting. That was a good one. But that's the general idea. That's what they do. And if you see what happens when the point of the whole thing is to frighten you into believing that somebody is going to show up at your door in an hour and take you into custody. Okay, and it's not going to happen because let me tell you that first of all, the IRS will not call you. They will contact you by mail, not email, regular U.S. Postal Service or snail mail as it's now referred to. So you'll get something from them by mail, and that will instruct you on what to do. And I've never received anything like that, so I don't know what the letter looks like, but I'm imagining that there is probably some sort of PIN code that would be issued to you so that you could verify your identity with the actual IRS if this were to actually occur. Again, I don't know that. I'm just saying that. That would be something that would be logical. At any rate, it would probably also be a registered letter because they would want to make sure that you receive this letter in the mail. So these calls are very common. It's actually surprising that they are still going on even though the tax filing period has closed. However, I believe you can get an extension for your taxes, and it might draw it out until I think October. So these calls could be common, maybe up until the end of October or maybe even later. Now, here's how you can spot these calls. Now, first and foremost, the gentleman, if you can refer to him as a gentleman, had an Indian or a type of accent, or Sri Lanka or Malaysia. I don't know. I'm not going to pinpoint one country or another. This happens. Fraud happens in all countries, including the United States and the United Kingdom and Canada. So we cannot pinpoint one country and say that they're at fault or it's happening here and it's not happening there. So we don't know where this guy came from, but one thing that I could say is if you see his name, he said his name was Jack Smith. Now, I don't know why they don't try to come up with some sort of a realistic name. It's not really very realistic for somebody to be speaking in that type of an accent and their name to be Jack Smith. So I don't know why they don't kind of dress it up a little bit. I think it's just because they figure, we're talking about a numbers game. I once, on one of my other videos, actually spoke to one of these guys, and they said they make something like 50,000 calls a week, or maybe it was a day. I'm not really sure. I think it was a week. And out of those 50,000 calls, they might get 3 or 4 people to take the bait. But if you think about it, if 3 or 4 people take the bait and let's say send them $5,000, that's $15,000 that they could make in a week. And I'm sure that they don't get to keep that whole amount. There's probably some sort of a split with the call center owner or something like that. But that's an awful lot of money. That's a lot of money in America. That's a lot of money in the UK and Canada, in France. That's a lot of money anywhere in the world, but it's particularly a lot of money in the third world countries. As a matter of fact, it's a huge amount of money. Somebody could probably live like a king or a queen. So point is, watch out for the simple names. You're going to get a lot of Jack Smith, Paul Smith. I've had Steve Pike, Bill Jones, those type of things. You're going to get those generic type names. You're also going to get the accent, and then you're also going to get quoted a high amount of money. So anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 is the minimum quote that they put. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is that in the beginning of the call, he claimed that I had not filed at all, I think, for 7 years. And then, as the call progressed, he claimed that I underfiled, or that I didn't send enough money. So there's a contradiction there, okay? Because in one part of the call, he's saying that I haven't filed for these years, or whatever years they were. And in another part of the call, he's saying that I did not pay enough taxes. So it just doesn't make sense. Now, most people can spot these calls pretty easily. However, there are some people who become afraid. Some elderly people especially are targets of this because they become afraid. And when you mention arresting somebody within an hour, that scares people. So it scares not only elderly people, but it scares everybody. So be aware of these calls. Please do not give any financial information over the phone. And I would go as far as to say, in today's day and age, with the identity theft being the way that it is, you may not want to give financial information over the phone to anybody unless maybe you've called them. Let's say that you've called your bank and you yourself have called them, so you know who you're speaking to. If somebody calls you, don't give out any financial information, and don't allow yourself to be frightened. Okay, the IRS is also going to send you a letter, and they're not going to come and threaten to arrest you immediately. They're going to allow you to respond, and most likely to set up some kind of a solution to the problem. Now, let's think about this. If the IRS were to come and arrest everybody that owed taxes, for one, there wouldn't be enough jail space to do this. And if they do this, how are they going to get their money? If they take you and they put you in prison immediately, how are you going to pay them? And the end result here is that if you owe taxes, the IRS wants to give you a chance to pay those taxes. Okay, unless it's an extreme situation where somebody may be involved in organized crime or something, and they've had an ongoing investigation or something to that type of nature. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer, so I want to make the disclaimer that do not take anything I'm saying at face value, because I'm not a lawyer, and this is all speculation. Okay, but what I'm saying is that doesn't make sense for them to go out and arrest everybody immediately and put them in jail without giving them some sort of opportunity to at least appear in court and to say their piece, or to fight the amount or something like that. Okay, so this is not the Middle Ages. People just don't come to your door, arrest you, and put you to death or put you in prison. Okay, so be very aware of these calls. And I hope this video has helped you out. I've made a few others. Again, the best way to respond also is just simply how I did it. Now, if you let them get to the end of their spiel, if you want to go that far, you can just hang up. That's probably the best thing to do. Or better yet, if you don't recognize the phone number, don't even call back or pick up the phone. Let it go to voicemail if you don't recognize the number. If it's important, they're going to leave a voicemail. Whoever's calling you, if it's some sort of an emergency, family emergency, what have you, they're going to leave you a voicemail. So that would be my approach. I let him continue with the spiel just for the sake of the video. But again, when you let them get to the end of the video, they're going to give you two choices. They're going to say, do you want to be arrested and locked up and fight it in court, or do you want to come to some kind of resolution right now? And if I had said, yeah, I don't want to be arrested, I want to resolve this immediately, what's going to happen is they are going to instruct you to get into your car and drive to the bank and get the money, or if you already have the money, they're going to make you go to like a Walmart or something like that and put the money on iTunes cards, or I think they used to use Green Dot or something like that, or some of these any of these prepaid cards. They're going to ask you to put the money on those, and that just doesn't make any sense. Again, okay, the actual Internal Revenue Service does not accept. It's not going to want you to put money on prepaid cards type of thing. Okay, they're going to want a check or a certified check or a money order or something. Or maybe even a EFT, an electronic funds transfer. They may even do that. They're not going to have you go and put money on some rinky-dink prepaid card and pay it like that. So I'm going to cut the video short. As you can tell, I like to ramble, and I can pretty much ramble on all day about this stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. There are plenty of other videos. I do want to recommend somebody a channel. It's the Hoax Hotel. I will drop a link to the Hoax Hotel in the video description. This gentleman makes a ton of amazing videos. They're extremely funny, and there are a lot of them. So drop a link. Check out his channel. I highly recommend it. You'll get a good education. You'll get a laugh, and he'll make it so that you don't get scammed. All right, folks, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to have another video for you very soon.